Hello and welcome to the Conqueror TV. I take this chance to welcome each and everyone, my subscribers, the past subscribers and the new subscribers. And today I have this little topic about masturbation. I've been addicted, I've been a victim of masturbation for a quite long time. And I struggled very much to stop from masturbating, and it was not an easy task. So I chose to bring this topic so that I can share with one or two. I know there are most of men out here and women who are addicted in this act of masturbation. And maybe you try each time you try, you say that let me masturbate once, and maybe tomorrow I will not masturbate. Let this be the last time I masturbate. That's the kind of life I lived, the kind of a situation that I could always say that I am only masturbating today. I am a single father. I have two kids. I was once married, but unfortunately, that marriage couldn't work, and my wife left. So I had to I had to take care of my young children and raise them as a single father. And from that point, I feared women, and I developed hate for women. So each time I could feel that urge, that desire of having sex, the only way I could satisfy myself is through doing masturbation. I reached a point whereby I could masturbate even 5 times a day. Sometimes I could even masturbate. I could even rise or wake up at midnight and I feel I want to masturbate. Masturbation is a skill. Actually, it's a skill that if you don't know how to go about it and or how to work about it, it can even completely destroy your life. Because I'm speaking this because I am a victim. I have been a victim of this, and I tried very much. I suffered. I worked hard. I even knelt down to pray. Every time I could kneel down and ask God to give me that grace to help me stop masturbation. But I couldn't, because the more I prayed, the more that urge of masturbation pushed me. It came inside me so much. So sometimes you might be in that situation. Maybe you did not want to try this, but in some circumstances, reaching to the point of getting yourself being addicted in masturbation, it's something, maybe there is a cause of that. Because I've told you myself, I found myself in masturbation, not because I wanted to masturbate, because myself, I grew up in a Christian way, and I never knew even the time that I can say I don't even knew the time adolescence came into me, because I feared women so much. And I can say that the only woman that I married, she was the first woman of my life, and I married her without even knowing that she could be a problem, or maybe that marriage or that relationship couldn't work in future. So I found myself in masturbation. I could masturbate to the point whereby one day I masturbated even inside public transport. And that is where my turnaround came. When somebody noticed this, someone someone we were seated together noticed that I was lasting on a woman and I was masturbating. That guy, that person, ashamed me, and the people inside that matatu, that public transport, actually they laughed at me, they mocked me. And that is the point where I went back and sat down and asked myself, why am I doing this thing? Why am I even ashaming myself to the public just because of the body desires? I know it's not easy to stop masturbating. When that thing enters you, it becomes so hard for you to stop. But if you persistently continue praying and kneel down and ask yourself the reason, the benefits, and even how do we put this? What are you gaining out of this masturbation? You will find yourself, at least on one occasion or at one point, you are stopping. Because that is how I fought. I decided to fight this masturbation just through the shame that I went through in that matatu. I asked God, why does this little thing has to make me go through this and make me to be ashamed? I decided and I knelt down and asked God, despite the fact I was praying, that is the more the urge of masturbation came to me. But one day I made this tough decision. The moment I could feel like I want to masturbate, I could walk out of my house and go to the road and start walking. That is what I did actually. I don't know if it will work to most of you, but that is exactly what I did. I could always, whenever I feel like I want to masturbate, I will just rise and walk away. I just go out there and walk around. When I come back, I go to my shower and take a shower, and that thing at least started going out of me. Number two, I started asking myself the benefits of masturbation and even the consequences. It reached a point that I could masturbate to the point whereby I could even feel the backache. So sometimes masturbation, yes, masturbation might you might feel like it's helping you like to ease the sexual desires, but in one point or the other, it's a spiritual attack which you need to work on, which you need to fight, because if you cannot fight against masturbation, at the end of it, you will find yourself being ashamed the way I was ashamed myself. Today I am here like an ambassador saying that masturbation is a spirit that you need to fight against. If you have found yourself in this, maybe you might seek spiritual assistance. Go to your pastor and open yourself and tell your pastor, this is what I'm going through. Maybe this man of God or a woman of God, they will pray and break that spirit. Because if you cannot get deep into people who are spiritually mature, you will find yourself collapsing or dying into that spiritual fight that you cannot fight by yourself. I have come to share this because myself, I have been in the same. I have fought masturbation to the point whereby I could only see women as enemies. I couldn't see any woman as anything because any moment I could see a woman, I will always see women like they are nothing. And the only desire I had is just for my hand, just to squeeze myself. That is the only desire I could feel in me. Sometimes I could even sit down. I am doing something important, but when the urge comes, it will rise me. It's a spirit thing that will always rise you and take you to the bedroom. Sometimes I could even go whenever I've just gone to the toilet. The first thing, I'm there doing something else, but that urge of masturbation would come to me. Have you been in that same situation? Just come. I know I could have told you all this story, but due to this time, and I know that you cannot take all this minute to listen to this, but you can contact me and I will tell you the procedure on how we can pray and the prayers. Go to my shorts. You will find the prayers of breaking these things, spiritual matters, breaking spiritual attacks. Because masturbation is one of the spiritual attack that you need to fight against, because if you cannot fight against this, you will lose your dignity, you will lose your respect, you will lose a lot of things, even confidence in yourself. Sometimes masturbation takes confidence from ourselves. Sometimes you go down, you masturbate. At the end of it, you start asking yourself, you even feel sorry. You even go down and start feeling that pain. Why did I do? Why do I have to do this? You don't need to to live in such a life of asking yourself questions. You need to make a decision. Stopping masturbation is a decision you make from your mind and your heart. When you make a decision from your mind and your heart, it will be very easier for you to get out of this. It will be very easier for you to get out of masturbation. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this and maybe you learned something from this literal education, maybe you can go down there and subscribe to this channel, because I will be coming back with more of this and I will be teaching you more. Go to the shorts, my shorts, and there are prayers there. You can pray with me. Maybe you want to support me, you want to support this ministry, you can support it freely and God will bless you. Until next time, I say bye for now. And guys, I love you so much, my subscribers. I love you so much and thank you so much for being part of my growth and our growth and the growth of Joy of God Ministries and Prayer Mountain. Shalom.